Man, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Still Bills, what's the deal, man? Yo, peep game though, man. It's Friday. We know what that means. We gonna keep up with the tradition of Flashback Friday, man. And today, the motherfucker we gonna talk about. First off, this dude is one of my personal favorite fighters, man. One of the great not heavyweights, but middleweights. Dude was a genius and a wizard in the ring. He came to the sport late, so you can't, that's not an excuse to me. Y'all, he started late. That's not an excuse to me. This dude started late and became one of the greatest middleweights to ever do it, man. But none other than my man Sergio Martinez. That's my guy. I remember the first time I watched it, I'm like, yo, this dude is super nice, man. And I don't talk about him as much as I talk about everybody else, man. But he's a cat that I would have loved to see fight Golovkin. The fight we gonna break down for Flashback Friday is his first fight with Paul Williams, man. And me personally, I scored that fight 7-4 with the last round a draw. Because early on, like even in the first round, we opened right out the gate. It should have been a 10-8 round, because that knockdown that Paul Williams scored on Sergio Martinez, it wasn't really a knockdown. You know what I'm saying? It was, and even Emmanuel Stewart was saying that. And, everybody was saying it was bad balance, and that was it. He pushed off his shoulder. Like his forearm caught Sergio Martinez's shoulder, and he fell off balance. But then Sergio Martinez knocks him with a clean right hook. A clean lead right hook knocked him down. That should have off rip been a 10-8 round. But in the early rounds, he was having success with that. He was landing that right hook at will. Even, what I'm saying, the step back right, the step back left hands, everything was there, man. Everything was there. And he couldn't too much keep up and neutralize Sergio Martinez's movements. Like, he used his lateral movement really well. He used the ring really well. And he was able to operate off of that. Paul Williams he would punch too far. Like Emmanuel Stewart said it again. He would start punching from way too far out. So he would be too far out when he went on the attack, man. So, all right, cool. It wasn't necessarily calculated. Because his arms are so fucking long. All right, cool. Yeah, you think a motherfucker is there. He did. Like, I could hit you from halfway across the ring if I wanted to, but in Sergio Martinez's case, no, that ain't. His feet were entirely too educated for you to, inch your way in from that far out. The minute you started doubling, tripling, and up on them jabs, he was going to be out of range. That much more because you were starting your attack from too far out. So early on, he started. Everything was landing. He was throwing them off with his movement. He couldn't stay in front of him. The lead right hook was there. The fucking the step back left was there. Everything was there. Everything was working in favor of Sergio Martinez, man. He was just clicking on all cylinders real early on. But I want to say around round 4 and 5, that's when Paul Williams kind of started. That's when he started closing the distance. That's when he started pumping the jab a little bit more. That's when he just started touching him. That's when, and a little bit of body work, not prolific body work, but a little bit of body work there, enough to where Sergio Martinez couldn't get away as elusively as he once could, or just 2 and 3 rounds prior to. So you started to see him somewhat slow down, and Paul Williams started having success. He had success for the next 2-3 rounds. He started having success for the next 2 or 3 rounds. And then the rounds after that, Sergio Martinez's coach started telling him, I need straight lefts. I need lead left hands. All right, cool. So he started popping the lead left to the body, planting it right on his midsection. Right on his midsection. And that set up the right hook upstairs. It was a 2-3 combination. 2-3. 2 to the body, 3 upstairs. 2 to the body, 3 upstairs. And he did that a lot. He did that a lot. And it started opening up scoring opportunities. So now the pendulum is kind of swinging back and forth a little bit. It's swinging a little back and forth. And, Paul Williams will come back and, do his thing with the work off of the jab. And, by the mid rounds, it started becoming a slugfest, and it was just inside fighting and clinch fighting. That's all it was. It was by that point it was a chess match, but on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Who can land the harder shots? Who can land the, you know what I'm saying, the most effective shot on the inside? It became that. Sergio Martinez, by that time, his legs wasn't gone, but I think that was his first. That may have been his introduction into the 160 pounds. So I think by that time, you know, he may not necessarily be 100% acclimated to the division. Nonetheless, it's not, his punch resistance is A+, and his punch output is A+. They fought for 12 rounds straight. They fought, maybe, I won't even say 12 rounds straight. I can say the mid rounds is when it turned into a fight, where it's like, nah, I'm not about to sit here and set traps from the outside. And Sergio Martinez was, once he got on the inside, the thing is, when you're the shorter fighter, you have the shorter limbs, the target is shorter for you. So those those right hooks that he was he'd be launching 3 and 4 right hooks at a time on some Roy Jones Jr. shit. And 2 of them are landing flush. 2 of them are landing flush. So it was a really good back and forth between the 2 of them. It was a really good back and forth between the 2 of them, man. But I just think in them later rounds, Sergio Martinez, I thought he was able to string together more rounds. I'll watch it again, but I don't see how they was giving Paul Williams certain rounds, especially when Sergio Martinez those would be big rounds for him. Those would be really big rounds for him, and he's losing the round. I'm like, how is that possible? Like, Paul Williams, you dig, you know, he be dope as a tall dude. Like, that dude is tall, you know, he's 6'2". He's coming in launching, you know, he's doubling up on the jabs to the body and everything. That's some video game shit. That's some straight up and down video game fight night type shit, man. Like, I dig it. Fucking Stephanie Tully. But I dig it. I think that was dope, man. You know, he uses his range very well, man. You know, it's unfortunate what happened to him, but you know, he was a dude who, you know, he was a volume puncher. A volume puncher. He's a volume puncher, and he's long and awkward to deal with. And that made for a really classic fight. That was a classic fight. But I just think Sergio Martinez did enough in the early on, because it's always gonna come back to that first round to me, because that first round, that wasn't a legitimate knockdown to me. Sergio Martinez legitimately knocked him down. You seen it, like, you seen it in his back, you seen it in his body language, you seen it in his face. That shit hit him. That shit hurt. You dig? And so, you know, Sergio Martinez is a dog, man. That's the thing. You know, he doesn't look like it. He doesn't look like, you know, he's man who's this model type motherfucker, soccer playing ass dude. Like, you ain't tough. And they was talking about, you know, the mental toughness, and I'm like, what? Sergio Martinez is best off his back foot setting traps, and this dude at that point, he doesn't have the legs. He has the legs to move around, but not as, you know, like I said, he's still getting acclimated into the division. He didn't have the legs to move around like he did in the first 3 and 4 rounds. His legs are there, but not to, you know, walk niggas into traps and all that. Now he has to stand in, you know what I'm saying, stand in the pocket and bang. And with him standing in the pocket and banging, it's like, oh, and he's not cowering. Williams hits him, he's trying to hit him back. That's tough. Like, the dude was tough. Like, homeboy could fight. He wasn't just a pure boxer. He could fight. When it was time to stand in the pocket and bang, he could fight. He has a brilliant boxing acumen, you know what I'm saying? Just a really, real solid skill set. The showboating was there. The minute he would get comfortable with you, he'd get the drop in his arms and baiting you in and welcoming you in and walking you into a trap, bro. I've seen, like, I've watched this dude, and I went back and I watched his fights, and just he'd get the lower in his guard, and you know, oh cool, that's an easy shot right there, and you know what I'm saying, you'll get a shot out there, and he's stepping back and launching the left straight down the pipe on you when it's putting you on your ass. I've seen he does that fluently, like flawlessly. The dude was the truth. Homeboy was the truth, man. The trap, like, it was just real brilliant traps he was set, man. And the showboating, that's what I can't get over. You know what I'm saying? The showboating. The showboating. Dude was just the truth, man. He was a joy to watch, man. I really got a kick out of watching Sergio Martinez get busy, man. I think he got played in that fight. It was a good fight, nonetheless. It was a really good fight. I think he should have won that fight, though. I think he did more than enough in them early rounds, especially to seal that deal. I don't think it should have been a 10-9 round because he didn't get knocked down, legitimately. Paul Williams legitimately got knocked down. So I don't know where this shit is coming from. That yeah, he didn't get knocked down, bro. He didn't get knocked down. He got up and he knocked Paul Williams on his ass. So Sergio Martinez, one of my personal favorite fighters, in my top 5. Dude was the truth, and I do think he got played that fight. I think he got played. But I mean, look what happened. It set him up for the, you know, for the next fight. Scored a knockout of the year. Like, that shit is going down in history. That shit went down in history, how he put fucking Paul Williams to sleep in that second fight. That was gruesome. And once again, off of that trap, invited him in, baited him in, and launched that left straight and put him to sleep. You dig? That's going down in history. Those were 2 top dogs in the division. Anytime the top dog, you know what I'm saying, gets knocked out like that, you know, it's a historical moment. It's a real historical moment, man. And he knocked Paul Williams out, man. And I was just like, yo. So I guess I can't be too mad at him winning that first fight because it set up that you know, that knockout for the next fight. But I do think Sergio Martinez won that first fight. I do. I've always said that. He got played that first fight, man. He did really good work. And that's how I'm feeling about it, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. Peace.